Hey guys, welcome to a new video. This is something I've been collecting the stats for a while now, and hopefully answers one of the biggest questions I get all of the time, like who is the best AD carry to main, who will be the strongest once I've learned them. If you want me to do this for other roles, let me know in the comments or throw the video a like, but let's jump into this one. The stuff we're looking at mostly is once you have over 150 games played with a champion. So everybody goes up in win rate, obviously, but some go up way more than others, and those are the ones we're going to look at. As an example, Ashe is like the opposite of this video. So even with over 200 games played on her, you have about a 52.5% win rate. That is pretty bad. So maybe Ashe isn't the one you want to main if all you care about is winning. Number 5 is going to be Misfortune, rocking over a 57% win rate when you've got over 200 games. That is much more like it. If we just look at the stats, okay, like the extra 5% for Misfortune over Ashe here would actually mean over a season you'd be about a whole 2 tiers ahead extra on top of them. That gives you a rough idea. Obviously it doesn't work quite like that, but a brand new Misfortune is still pretty decent actually. Almost 49% win rate, so really only an 8% difference between a new one and one who mains her. The difference isn't that major, but the end product is what we care about in this video at least. The main differences between a good and a new one most likely are going to be the love tap usage, so her passive and stuff, your ultimate timings and positioning, your Q bounce trades to get ahead in the lane phase, and also using your Ghost Blade aggressively to burst people with your Q and your R. This 57% is this patch, by the way. Obviously it takes some time to get to 200 games played on a champion, I guess, unless you have no life or something, but there's no point really looking at who to main based on a patch. It needs to be a bigger picture. Now saying that, a fun stat that I could find was the win percentage of the best Misfortune players of this patch, those who have the most games played at higher reloads, and right now that's at 54%. It's slightly down on the average we said before, but partially I bet that's because Misfortune is just way better at lower ranks anyway. Now number 4 is going to be Zeya, the newest kid on the block, but really good when you're able to play her properly. There aren't that many players with over 200 games yet, but quite a lot over 150, so we can use that at least. Just over 57% at 150 to 200 games. Now no doubt that is going to go up even more at the 200 plus bracket once she's been out a bit longer. New Zeya players average about a 46% win rate, by the way, so that's a massive 11% jump between these new ones and somebody who has actually learned the champion. The main difference is likely, firstly, just a new champion, right? Even just learning the basics takes some time. Using your E to burst people, learning your damage basically, also using your W properly in team fights, managing your feathers with your spells so you don't end up wasting feathers, and also your lane phase trading. Those are the biggest things. The best Zeya players this patch have got a 54.6% win rate apparently. This was actually 59% though last patch before the nerfs. With a new champion, it is kind of hard to tell exactly what will happen, but she is much better when you understand her, that is for sure. The bronze medal is going to be Twitch, and there's no real surprise here, I'm sure, but remember, this isn't just during this OP phase that he has right now, but before that as well. Up to a 57.2% win rate overall when you've got over 200 games played on him, but there are a few things different with this one. New Twitch players have about a 50% win rate, which is insanely high for somebody new. Like normally it's always lower than 50%. It just shows how actually strong he is right now. The best players within this patch also have a 59.5% win rate with him, so yeah, like it's definitely safe to say that he is a ridiculous monster right now. Even without that stuff though, like this patch, he is a beast when he's mastered. That is what we're really interested in, and that is why he's number 3. For number 2, we're going on to Kalista, who shouldn't really be a surprise either actually. She has always been pretty overpowered when played by someone who has mastered her or mains her. That's actually why she got gutted at the start of this season, remember? Like she's too good on experienced players. The nerfs didn't really change much though, like a 57.49% win rate when over 200 games are played on the champion. I'm not joking about the difference either. 12% between good and new players. New ones rock an amazing 45% win rate, which is terrible, but at least it pays off in the end. The best players right now this patch have a 59% win rate though, and I bet you didn't expect that at all, but it comes down to how overpowered she is when you master her. It doesn't matter what patch it is. The differences most likely would be knowing her E Ren damage, your kite mechanics, which is very important, and also being more aggressive in the lane phase. Using your R properly as an engage is something that comes with experience, and also using your E to trade and CS at the exact same time to save some mana but get more damage off. The gold medal is going to be going to Kogmaw, and this one did surprise me actually. He hasn't been good all season. In fact, he got reworked back to his old state because of how bad and imbalanced the rework was. Kogmaw is at a 59% win rate when you played over 200 games with him. Almost 60% of games you are going to win here. That is crazy good. Think of it like this, okay? Play 300 games as Kogmaw, and according to this, you would get 180 wins and 120 losses. With Ashe in the same deal and stuff, you'd be 156 wins and 144 4 losses. With Kogmaw, you would win 60 more instead of winning 12 more with Ashe. That is like a whole elo bracket at least, probably more. The worst Kog'maw players actually apparently have a 49% win rate, which is still actually high for the first bracket of new players. It is a 10% difference though, just because of how good his 200 plus game win rate is, but also the best players this patch are winning about 57%. The differences likely are going to be a better lane phase, like getting your items quicker, more aggressive lane phase, actually trading with your Q and your W together, better positioning in team fights, better kiting with your damage, and better use of this in and out style with his W. So those are the top 5, but in the hands of high elo experts, I guess this patch, like just for a fun fact, as I said, you cannot really use patch by patch stuff for something you need to invest loads of time into, but it's cool to look at anyway. Number 1 would be Twitch, then we have Kalista, then Draven, Vayne, and Kog'Maw. And as I said, that is for this patch. Now Vayne is probably the one you expected in this top 5 anyway, right? Who was kind of missing from the list. I know, like, I actually expected her to be there, but her 200 plus win rate is only 53.88%. Now that isn't terrible, but it is 5% lower than Kog'Maw almost, which over that many games is a lot. Draven though is a runner-up here, basically number 6, I guess, like 55.5% pretty much, pretty good, but it's not the 57% level of things either with Misfortune, who was at number 5. Most likely this has to do with the fact that Draven players are very, very aggressive, and they either hard carry or basically intentionally feed, I guess. I know it's kind of a meme and stuff, but I'm not kidding either. I think that's actually probably a legit reason why he isn't as good as he could be. Jinx is also very close, which is a surprise in my opinion. There is not much you can do on Jinx to massively outplay or whatever, but apparently Jinx mains end up winning a lot more games still. If we look at the big boys, Lucian and Caitlyn, right, considering how often these two are played, I think having these win rates are pretty good actually. Like Lucian 54% and Caitlyn almost 55%. It depends on the player for sure, but it's interesting to see that even though they are super popular, they are pretty good picks when mastered. I honestly feel like Caitlyn and Lucian are fine to play at a basic level, but the advanced stuff, like with all the little combos and stuff they do, can be quite difficult to master. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. This is a bit of a different style to my normal thing, I guess, but I had fun making it. Thank you for watching, and for now, I'll leave you with the robots.